Apocalypse Ministries, a ministry that God put into service some 30 years ago, possibly a little more, but the official launch date was around 1990. But since then, a lot of things have changed. When this ministry first began, it was, my father was preaching and traveling and teaching. The media of the day were cassette tapes. And I remember duplicating tapes so people could get copies and pass them out, and we could help spread the gospel that way. But through the years, it turned into CDs, and then came DVDs. We never did the VHS tape thing, but it started off with cassette tapes. Then it was the CD. Then it transitioned to DVDs. So what am I saying? Over the years, many things about the ministry have changed, and we have grown. But with growing comes the ability to be able to do more. Apocalypse Ministries today in large part, has a lot of media production that takes place. The television channel, APTV, is now 24/7, or it has always been running 24/7, 365 days a year. For that to be able to happen, we must always be videoing, recording, producing media for you to be able to see. Now, the media we produce is not for entertainment, it is for spreading the gospel. Even now, the media is changing again from DVDs to thumb drives and streaming, because that's where everybody gets their video content. And so we have to keep moving with the times. To do that, more services have to be paid for, more equipment has to be bought, and we seek to always streamline the process so as not to overspend or to spend too much of God's money on unnecessary equipment. But it takes money to buy these things so that we can continue producing content that will lead people to Christ. And so today, Apocalypse Ministries has grown over the years. And now that there's a television channel that operates 24/7 on APTV. You can find that channel where you're watching right now, on YouTube maybe, or on Facebook, or on our website. And so even our website, in the beginning years, the website, when we finally got one, looked a lot different than it does today. And so to have a website today that looks more reminiscent of what the ministry is accomplishing today for God, and to be able to, the maintenance and the upkeep and to continue to put new content out there, all of it costs money. Even when God blesses and you get a real discount on services, it still takes finances to be able to do. Now, we don't seek to make God's word cost anything. We really wish that we could give it away for free at all costs, everything, just give it away. But brothers and sisters, it takes funds, it takes money to operate the ministry today. With inflation going up and the prices of everything costing more, services cost more, the upkeep of the ministry building costs more. And so, brothers and sisters, we want to talk about the ministry and its progression, media, production, and the gospel. Many things are different. When my father first started the ministry, he was using transparencies. Many remember what transparencies look like. And it was my job to take those transparencies in any given meeting. If he had one that was in the stack that he wanted, but it was near the middle, it would be my job to go through every one of them and then pull it out. He may have gone way past that slide, but once I found it, he would say, okay, and I'd say, tell him, here it is. He would come back to that point and make the point. Well, in the progression of things, he finally moved to PowerPoint. And then PowerPoint made it so much easier. And it also made it easier on me. And so we grew from transparencies to PowerPoint to buying one computer, and buying another computer and another computer, until we started building our own computers. And so that we could, spend the least amount of money, but get exactly what we needed to be able to produce content that would be for the spreading of the gospel. But here we are today in 2023, and brothers and sisters, we are seeking to continue what God started some 30 plus years ago. Still a media-driven ministry, producing content for people to watch and be drawn closer to Christ. Nothing makes us more happy at the ministry than to hear someone hearing messages that were presented on the channel or presented in person and then making a decision to follow Christ. And so we want to be able to continue to do that. To do that, we need you. And so we want to tell you about the progression of the ministry so that you would understand that it takes people, it takes hands. I can't do it by myself. I can't produce this video by myself. It takes a team, it takes planning, and in some cases it takes travel to be able to produce this content. And we want to be able to produce more and be more impactful and find different ways to impact the lives of people with the gospel. To do that, we've got to be able to continue recording content and videos that can be posted on YouTube, that can be posted on TikTok, and so forth. When it comes to the platforms, even that has had to have a progression and an expansion. When we first started, we talked about the media, the progression of the types of media, but then along came the internet and it became better and better. And so then there were more platforms. There's YouTube, there is Facebook, there is Twitter, TikTok, and the list goes on and on and on. And so we have about 4 or 5 platforms that we are currently using, using quite a bit to put forth the gospel. And we want to remain there. We want to remain on our own website as well. The times are changing and things are happening, and you have to be careful what you say and how you say it, because a lot of these platforms are being managed by other people. And so we want to be able to stay on our own website as well. So even the progression of platforms that we're on has progressed. The marketing of the ministry, being able to market to social media and market to other people, I can't do it by myself. It takes a team working together to be able to put forth the gospel in a professional, yet as dramatic as possible and as top quality as possible. It takes a team to put it all together to then put it out to you. We've been doing it for quite a while, and we want to continue to be able to do it. And so for Giving Tuesday, we're asking for your support to support this work here. The dream, the vision that God gave my father must continue to go forward, but not because I wanted to go forward, but because God said it must continue. And so when he told me to take the spot that my father was in when he passed away, the commitment is still the same. The gospel must be preached to the rest of the world. And we don't have much time to complete this work.